Over the weekend at C2E2, we met some incredible creators, but one moment caught me off guard. I showed J. Scott Campbell a comic book, and he said he had never seen it before. His reaction? Not what I was expecting. Between that and the rest of C2E2 and the Spider-Man exhibit at the Museum of Science and Industry, this weekend felt like we were stepping into the comic book world. And by the end of it, we had one takeaway we weren't expecting. All this and much more here in the CheddarVerse. Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 7 of the CheddarVerse. I am Chris from Cheddar Comics. Follow me on Instagram at Cheddar_Comics for weekly Thursday live sales. We'll be having a good one this week, and I'm here with my beautiful bride and my best friend, Mrs. Cheddar Comics. Follow her on Instagram at Mrs. Cheddar_Comics on Instagram.
What's going on, everyone?
Thank you for tuning in wherever you are. Make sure that you are subscribing, following, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever you're doing on
We appreciate it.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcasters, Amazon Music. But I don't know the whole list.
There was a big list.
It was a big list, right?
I was shocked to see.
Yeah, when I showed you that today.
Many. Yeah.
It's like, we're on all of these. She was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, there's like 50 of them.
Yes.
Shows what I fucking know.
There's a lot of them.
I know
right?
like 2.
Yeah. So, as always, we appreciate every single comment, message, everything about how you're liking the show so far. We so appreciate it.
Very much.
It means the absolute world to us. We can never express that enough. And thank you again for coming back. Or maybe this is your first one. Welcome in.
Welcome.
We have a special episode today. We are talking about our nerd weekend in Chicago. We went to C2E2. We met some great creators. We're going to be talking about our experience there, some surprises, some things we weren't expecting. And then after that, we also went to the Amazing Spider-Man or Beyond Amazing Spider-Man. Forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man exhibit at Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. And we had a nerd-filled weekend.
Oh, yeah. It was wonderful.
It was wonderful. And, we were just kind of surprised by the end of it what it was. So here's our experience, and let's get into C2E2. It's Cheddar on the floor of C2E2. So we had a great time at C2E2. I did want to start with my favorite part first to front load this. The big one, the one I spent the most time and money on, was J. Scott Campbell.
Very special.
He was probably the biggest creator there as far as size and everything, because he actually was in Artist Alley, or not, he was not in Artist Alley.
No.
He was in the autograph section because his lines can be so long. So over the weeks and months, I kind of picked out like 5 books, because he had it where it was buy 5, like you pay for 4.
Oh, sure.
Like 1 was free. So I was like, well, I want to do that.
Definitely.
Because he has enough covers where you can pick and choose. I get in line for J. Scott Campbell. It's a long line.
Yeah, you were there for a while.
Yeah.
Which I was really surprised about.
It was because of VIP.
Oh, right.
Like the normie line was like maybe 15, 20 people, but VIP just kept coming in and they cut in front.
I can't believe that's how many people were in normie line and they didn't.
No, exactly. They just kept piling up, VIP, and we're just like, oh my God. So luckily I made conversation with the guy in front of me, and we had a good time talking and stuff. And he's actually the reason we end up going to the Spider-Man exhibit afterwards. So it actually worked out.
Yeah.
Anyways, my time comes. J. Scott Campbell's there. The most personable guy, super sweet. Because, like when you're number 2 or 3, you're listening to his conversations with everybody else. He's just so happy. Whatever you brought him, he loved. He's super kind to everybody, answers all your questions, gives you all the time in the world, and everyone's leaving. The J. Scott Campbell guy, like who worked for him, who's managing the line. Yeah. He's like, somebody made a comment like, oh, do you, it's such a long line and everything. And He's like, yeah, like when I look this way towards the line, I see grumpy faces. And when I look at them when they're with J. Scott, I see happy faces.
Oh, well,
so I get to see grumpy faces turn into happy faces.
Oh, okay.
And at least when you leave, you'll be happy.
Definitely.
And hopefully you'll forget when you're grumpy. So that he was cool. Everyone that worked from him was super cool.
I'm sure.
So I get up there, I'm showing him what I have. I'm like, oh yeah, you probably see all these, and because some artists are like, oh yeah, I see those all the time. Not him. He was like, cool, this is great.
Really?
Yeah, he just thought he was like, anything anybody brought him, he was just super happy to see it.
Oh, that's nice.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, this one again, or
yeah.
It was like, no, he was whatever it was. He was just so genuinely happy you were there to see him.
No, I love it when they're like that.
No ego.
Yeah.
Nothing like that, So I had some colors picked out, and he's like, I would recommend, doing this color. I have tried that, and it doesn't work, and this kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what you're talking about. Yeah. So mostly with your Rogue cover.
Yeah.
Because we wanted yellow.
Right.
And I was like, can you do this one in yellow? And he's like, I can, but I've had trouble with it like blending into the green and not popping very well. I would suggest maybe gold to play off the yellow. I was like, yes. So sold.
Yeah.
And we were really happy about this one because this is like a limited to like 2,500.
Right.
So, and that one we snagged on eBay. Somebody sent it in software. So that turned out gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
The other ones, of course, are cool. I'm saving the big one for last. The Black Cats are awesome, and I'm just happy to finally own these.
I'm sure.
And then have them signed. And then the big one.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Little drum roll.
I can't do a drum roll.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
I can't. I've tried. It doesn't work out.
Okay. So this one was, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post about it and talk about it. But I just thought it was super cool because it's an Amazing Spider-Man 601. It's the Mary Jane cover, his #1 cover. And it is signed by John Romita Sr. And it's got a Dynamic Forces COA. And they limited to only 100 copies. So for me, before this, I was like, I think that's super cool because to me, like, Romita was the first one who drew Mary Jane Watson and drew her beautiful and had people fall in love with her and all that stuff for all those years. It was Romita. Ditko never drew her.
Oh, interesting.
The first time you see her is a Romita drawing, and then Romita is the one who drew the famous "You've Hit the Jackpot Tiger" panel. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm assuming Dynamic Forces or whoever put this together had Romita sign this cover. So when I have something cool that I think is cool, I just like to always ask. So this was the last one I showed J. Scott Campbell. And I was like, so I wanted to show you this one. Have you ever seen this? It's signed by John Romita Sr. Have you ever seen his signature on this cover? And he was like, no, I've never seen that before. Wow. Right away, I'm like, yes.
Oh, awesome.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
I fucking did it.
I love hearing that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell
yeah.
And then I was like, really? You've never seen it? And he's like, no, I've never seen it. I didn't even know that they did this.
That's interesting.
And he's like, I'm a little taken aback because John Romita is, I'm quoting J. Scott Campbell. He's like, John Romita is the Mary Jane king to me.
Wow.
So to think that he signed this, let alone that he saw my cover, let alone signed 100 copies of it is very special. And he was getting a little like, I wonder what he thought. Did he like it?
Yeah.
You know, he was getting like artists,
Yeah, maybe a little taken back.
A little self-doubt, you
Yeah,
know, like
sure.
the master saw his work. What did he think?
Right.
You know, and to know for him to know that Romita did see it and signed it and did all this, you know, let alone what did he think? So he was legitimately kind of paused and took a minute.
That's so cool.
You know,
you like gave him something that he's never had before.
Yeah,
which is so sweet.
I mean, how hard is that when you're at his level?
Oh, sure.
You know,
never comes along.
Yeah,
that like at all. I'm
so
sure.
Yeah, he was like to him it was very special.
That's wonderful.
And he was like, "Do you mind if I take a picture for my socials? Like just like me and I was like, "Yes."
You go right ahead.
You know, so he got the lady, one of his team members, to take a picture of him like smiling with it. And I think it was in his day one recap video. And yeah, he loved seeing it. So we got he added his signature to it, and I thought it was just super cool to hear him
in a beautiful red
have the same reaction to Romita's signature that I did.
Yeah.
You know, that
because you don't have any other. Do you have John Romita?
I don't have any. This is my only one. My only John Romita Senior.
Oh, well, that's very
And that's what he said. He's like, "Oh, John Romita Senior."
Oh.
Not Junior, because
sure.
Junior you'd see a lot more.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
So I thought that was really cool. You know, and it was just nice to be able to, you know, give an artist like that something, you know, that maybe they've never seen and think about later or not, you know.
I'm sure he did.
Either way, it was cool for me, you know.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure then I'm the only one that has this book, you know, double signed.
Like ever?
By Romita and J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, you definitely
Because normally with these dynamic forces too, you've seen a bunch of them in collections.
I have, yeah.
Where they're normally, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 copies. So
definitely.
I've never seen 100 copies. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
And this is 2009, so I would have to look up when he passed away. I know it wasn't right after that or something, but he was an old man.
He was up there then.
Yes, they had him sign 100.
So that makes sense that it would be so limited, probably.
Yeah. So that was my little corner with J. Scott Campbell.
That's very special.
And that wasn't the only creator we met. We had a couple, you know, that we had on our list. I think we had 4 total that we were excited to see that hit our interests.
Yes.
And your number one was
Jenny Frison.
Jenny Frison, and you brought her a big old stack.
I did. I did bring her a big stack. I felt so bad, but she doesn't care.
No.
She loves it.
So it was you, me, and our 5-year-old daughter.
Yes. So she came back and sat down, and she's usually very quiet.
Yeah.
But we had our daughter there, and she got very chatty with our daughter, which was very
Never
cute.
seen her talk that much.
No, I've not at all.
For reference too, we met her you and I, when it was just the two of us, we met her last year at C2E2.
Yeah.
And we met her twice.
Yes.
Because we went one time and we went back a second day and
Yes.
saw her. So, you know, we kind of had a feel for
what it was going to be like.
What she was like, yeah.
But with our daughter, she just like lit up and was really asking our daughter all these questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it was fun to chat with her, and, you know, as a mom, being able to share, like, you know, this is a female or girl artist who
totally
draws and creates these covers, and this is what she did. And it was really fun to watch our daughter kind of like soak that in. And Jenny like picked up on it and was like, "What did you draw? Like, what do you like to draw? I like to do this." And she drew something for our daughter. And then she was so sweet. She asked our daughter to draw something for her, and she's like signing the books at the same time and being so patient and just absolutely wonderful. It was a really special moment for me as a mom.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, this is something that she's just really soaking in. So
I think once she heard that the kid likes to draw,
yeah,
you know, probably her
there was a connection
as a female artist herself, you know, sees a little girl who likes to draw, like, what do you like to draw? And that lit her up.
Yep.
She's like, when I was, you know, and Jenny, when she was like, when I was a little girl, I used to draw these like bubble hearts.
Yeah, and she drew
and she took a Post-it, she drew a little heart with a little shine on it and gave it to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you like to draw? And the kid was like, our kid was like, rainbow. She's like, will you draw me a rainbow? And she got her all the right color markers and patiently sat there for like a full minute or two to let the kid take the red marker and draw the red arch and put the cap back on and grab the orange one, take the cap off and draw the line and put it back on. And she just patiently waited. She couldn't wait until it was, to see it.
Yeah.
And then
very sincere.
She was. And then she took it and she kept the kid's doodle and put it on her little board so she could look at it.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She was just
the best.
Yeah. She was just, she was the best and she is the best. And that just solidified how great she was.
Absolutely. So it's like, well, we're going to see you every time I can.
Yeah. If you're here, we're seeing you.
Absolutely. Because there's always going to be covers that I want from her or art.
Yeah. And you have some of the covers
I
that
do.
You got signed?
I do. I have all these Wonder Womans.
Yeah.
And
you had to really slim your Frison pile down.
I did.
Yeah.
I really did.
And by the way, too, Frison is so cool because she has it where her first 3 are free. Her first 3 signatures are free, and it's $5 a signature after that. Which is super cool. That's like old school pricing.
Yeah. These were great. It was really awesome.
Very special moment.
It was. And I have more, so we'll be going back again.
More comics to get signed?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I had a couple things here. For Friends, let's talk about Friends. It was nice. We had I had somebody who buys from me on Instagram stop me, and M. Mora on Instagram stopped me and talked to me for a little bit, and he was like, Cheddar Comics? I'm like, yeah, hi, who are you? And then he said his name, like Manuel. I was like, oh, what's your handle?
Yeah, I don't know your name.
People tell me their names. I'm like, I don't know. You have to tell me your handle. That's what I know.
Yeah, me too.
So he told me, and that was nice of him to stop and say hi and said how much
he was very sweet.
Yeah, and he was like, I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad I found your page. I'm like,
Nice.
That makes my whole day. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Saw a couple other people there, and then our friend Scott Savage met after the J. Scott Campbell signing, and him and I were doing a trade because I've been after my Green Lanterns. I'm on my Green Lantern kick.
Yes.
And my 1 through 100, and I before C2E2 I was down to 5. I needed 1, 4, 7, 9, and 18. And then Scott contacted his buddy, and we did a trade for I had some Japanese Batmans he wanted, and we traded for this Green Lantern number 9, which is first Sinestro cover.
Very cool.
Super cool.
Wow.
And it looks nice too. 60. God, it's got to be 62. It's still a 10-cent Silver Age book.
It's really nice. Very vibrant.
61, 62. I forgot. So, yeah, first Sinestro cover.
I didn't realize Sinestro's head was that big.
Oh, yeah. It's huge, man. It's kind of like the leader almost.
It really is.
Yeah.
Big head.
So, that was a big one for me. I was like, great. Good,
Absolutely.
Traded it. Saw Scott. Chatted with him a little bit. Off we went. And then we did a little. I was telling him, too. I was like, I've been looking everywhere for one book. I'm after one comic. I'll get into that right now since we're on Sinestro. I'm like, I'm after one comic, and I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a Green Lantern 7. First appearance of Sinestro has been the one I've been like itchy for. And I always follow my instincts. I'm like, go for the itchiest one, Well, go for the one you want the most, right?
Always.
So I was like, that's kind of the only one I want. And it's easier when you hone in on one. Instead of being like, well, I'm going to take my big list and go for everything. Like, fuck that, you know? So I looked and never saw. I saw
went up and down the rows.
Up and down.
Nobody had really any Green Lantern.
I know.
Which I was really surprised by.
I wasn't.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't.
I take that back.
But I was like, I would think you would see 76 or 1 or 7 or
right.
Just at least 1. The 3 big. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
I was only looking for 7. I saw 1 7, and it was a purple label, and it was it was a qualified grade, and it was expensive. It was really too much. That was the only one. And then at the end of the day, we were making a second pass because I was like, I want to make sure I saw everything. And we stopped at Dale Roberts Comics, who we've done trades with before. And I just asked directly instead of looking, because I didn't see it on the wall. I was like, you don't have a Green Lantern 1 or a 7?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we do. And he like
all the way
goes down to the floor under the boxes and is on the bottom run of their wall. And they had a 1 and a 7.
Yeah.
I looked over the 1. The 1, of course, was gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
I mean, it was a great copy, but I was like, I can only do so much today.
You can get like one of these.
Yeah, so I looked at I was like, how much for both of these? And he said a price. I was like, ooh, okay, that's no good. And I was like, how much for just the 7?
Yeah.
And he said a price, and I said, let's do it.
Yep.
And I checked with Mrs. Cheddar. I was like, do you approve of this? Like, you think this is okay to do?
Absolutely.
Not that I need her approval for my purchases, but I just always have an immense amount of guilt when I want to buy myself something big. I just feel guilty.
Sure.
You know.
Which of course, I understand. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to comics and things, I know that run really deep and you just love. It's just like, I want you to have those things.
Yeah.
So it's
and
just
that's why you're the best.
First Sinestro, like, well, we got to have that in the Green Lantern collection, and it's gorgeous copy.
Exactly. So I mean, and that's what's nice about it too, because when you look up and I've been trying to get this book for months.
Yeah, I know.
Like since the fall, and it's just like one of those ones that like it doesn't come up on eBay.
Huh.
I asked around. So it's been in my eBay save searches. I've been asking Instagram seller friends, groups, posting about it. Do you have one? Do you have one?
Yeah.
No one ever had one.
Yeah.
And if they were on eBay, they were a exorbitant amount.
They're crazy. Yeah.
Or they were really low grade and like too beat up for me to even want to touch, right?
Sure.
So then Dale Roberts had one. It wasn't a cheap price. It was a decent price. But it's such a nice copy. It's like a mid-grade copy.
It really is.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And I haven't had this for 20 years. I sold it. We had to sell it in my college collection when I was 18. So I haven't had this book for 20 years, and I got it back. And it's probably because of the cover, because the cover isn't that great. And Sinestro isn't on the cover. Oh. So I think that kind of like hurts it a little bit. If like this number 9 was this cover,
that would make more sense.
It would probably help it. But so I was super happy to end the hunt, the one I was the most itchy for. And then how cool.
Same day?
Same day. Sinestro Day.
It's Sinestro Day.
The trade of number 9. Yeah. And then got number 7, got the 2 big Sinestro books, his first appearance and his first cover.
Yeah.
So I was like, meant to be.
Absolutely.
Totally meant to be.
I mean,
how much more
like in line can you be?
Yeah. Synchronicity or whatever you want to call it. I mean,
yeah.
It was wonderful.
It really was. I was so glad that he had a lot of them, but I was glad he had for Sinestro.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was the only one I saw.
Yeah.
It was the only fucking one I saw. One honorable mention of I saw 2 favorite things as a site, not the comics. It was original art.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about just 2 quick pieces. Number 1, the Comic Connect booth was there, and they're the big auction house. And they brought with them the Superman 75 Death of Superman original cover art. And I literally I looked up, because you were at the family headquarters, and I went and took a walk to see if I could find Sinestro, which I didn't at that time. And I bump into that booth, and I look up, and I'm like looking at the original art, and I look up I literally gasped. I was like, oh my God. Because I knew that it was up for auction because they promote it so much.
Oh, okay.
So I knew that cover was, or they were selling that, like, it's like the whole issue.
Yeah.
But to see it, I was like, oh my God, it was gorgeous. It was so cool. It's iconic. I mean, for someone my age, who grew up in the 90s, it's an iconic cover.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't, it was just so special to see it. And then all the other pages too, like Lois holding him when he's dead and Doomsday stuff, and incredible. And then I shared it on my stories, and then someone's like, yeah, we should chip in and get it. And I'm like, yeah, let me look up how much it is. at that time, it was on Friday the 27th or whatever, it was at $413,000.
Oh my God.
With 16 days left to go.
Wow.
By the time this podcast comes out, it'll be like within a week it'll sell. So I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, if it hit 1 million. I have no idea.
Holy cow.
So that was very cool to see in person. And then there was another guy, Anthony's Original Art or something like that. And his whole booth was just like big folders of artists' original art, which is so cool. And he's got this big wall of stuff, and I'm scanning it. Green Lantern again. Gil Kane, a Gil Kane page from Green Lantern 14.
Oh my.
I was like, wow, I've never seen a Green Lantern Gil Kane page. And because I was looking to spend some money, and it was like $6,000. I was like, that's so cool. And then I'm like scanning my favorite thing I saw, and it was behind other stuff. It was covered up. And it was this Merry Marvel Marching Society piece. And it was Kirby, and it was it was like the stationary art. And it was Kirby. It was like 12 drawings, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Spider-Man, Cap. Kirby original art. Plus it was signed. It was like quadruple signed by Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Jim Steranko, and Neil Adams.
Wow.
And I just happened to ask the guy, I was like, how much is that piece? And he's like, $65,000.
Oh, fuck.
That's incredible.
Oh,
That's incredible. He's like, yeah, it's 12, it's Kirby doing 12 superheroes.
Right, so that makes sense.
And it's signed, and he's like, I'm going to be so sad when that's gone.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it was cool to see.
I wish we could have gotten it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Take a check that won't cash.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see that stuff,
Didn't you see like Alex Ross
at Comic Connect? They had a Kingdom Come page.
That's what it was. That was very cool.
And they had it priced at $175,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Which was nuts to see too.
Yeah.
So that was the stuff I like, because that stuff's one-on-one. So that's why it was cool to go around, and not that the comic covers aren't cool. You see Amazing Fantasy, you see Batman 1, Sensation 1, you were ogling, but
oh yeah,
the original art,
that's
when I leave the show, I'll never see that Superman page again unless I see it in a museum piece.
Right.
Which is a great segue to the second thing we did this weekend, which was the Spider-Man exhibit at Science and Industry. Enter the Spider-Man exhibit at the Museum of Science and Industry. While I was in line for J. Scott Campbell talking to that guy, when we were like in line for like an hour, he was like, oh, have you seen the Spider-Man exhibit at Museum of Science and Industry? I was like, no, I haven't been. We only make it to Chicago like twice a year. He's like, oh, you got to go. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And we had this, we were only going to C2E2 for one day.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to go back Saturday, and we didn't really have that much to do though, so we were going to take the kid to the shed, and then we had this second half of the day we didn't know what to do with.
Yeah.
So this was like, perfect. We're going to be down at the museum campus. We'll go see the Spider-Man exhibit. She's a big Spider-Man fan.
Mm-hmm.
And so am I.
You are?
Look up at giant banner behind us, So it's perfect.
Yes, it was.
So, yeah, we went there, and what were your first impressions just like walking, right when we first walked in? What'd you think? Because they had it into two galleries, so it's two big rooms.
You mean the first gallery?
Yeah.
Oh, I was blown away by the setup. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was like immersive lights and
all the lighting,
Spidey symbols, and
they had all these beautiful spotlights on the comics when you walk in, and then as you're walking into the entrance, you see just a little far off this beautiful Spider-Man sculpture swinging down.
Yeah.
And you could take pictures with it, and everybody was taking pictures with it.
Yep, big line for that.
Yeah, and that was really
so
so sick.
I know.
So I was pretty taken back.
For me too, as comic history nerd, it was just all Ditko right when you walked in. It was just all Ditko art, like all over the walls. It was like video projection, like all over the walls. And it was transitioning to like Ramita, and then it was transitioning to, McFarlane, and then Eric Larson. You were just like watching it like go through the time.
The amount of like skill and passion and creativity that went into those galleries were
so
off
cool.
the wall. I mean, so cool.
Because I'll say, like, I've seen, before we went over, I don't know how long it's been there. I think like a year.
Since last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had seen TikToks, or I had seen other stuff of kind of like everything. I kind of knew not every art page, but I kind of knew the big things that were going to be in there.
Sure.
So I was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've kind of seen it. Wrong. Like, once you're in there, amazing, beautiful, so cool, love it. I want more, right?
Yeah.
Some of the specific things that are in there too and that's what was nice. It was like a full 360 view of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the comics.
No.
It wasn't just toys. It was the entire character, all the mythology.
Yep.
So, you start off right away, boom, Amazing Fantasy 15. First appearance of Spider-Man sitting there.
That's right.
CGC 5.5. Somebody I made a video and posted it, and somebody commented like, "You think the museum could get it better than a 5.5?" I was like, "Well,
I don't know. That's pretty good, man."
Like $50,000. I don't. But you saw that. You saw original Ditko art pages. I'm gonna nerd out this whole section. Original Steve Ditko art pages. Like, oh my God, how hard is that to find, or see?
Sure.
They had a lot of just like, they really use like every inch of the space to like plaster Spider-Man art, comic book art.
Yes.
On the walls. And it was cool in the beginning because it was all Ditko Craven and Ditko Lizard and all this stuff.
Was that what the Sinister Six was?
They were all his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that Sinister Six.
Very cool.
Wall.
Yes.
All Ditko art.
Oh, okay.
So it's so cool. So then, you see my favorite. I'll break down my favorites because if I go piece by piece, it's gonna take too long.
Yeah.
My favorite Ditko piece was they had this Ditko pinup page. That was like so cool to see it signed to somebody. I was like, oh my God, so incredible to see. And then you come around there and you see, and I got a little emotional, and I told you this already, but there was these two big biographies.
Oh, yes.
Of Stan Lee and a big biography of Steve Ditko. And to see Stan Lee and Steve Ditko being told their story in a museum setting it really took me back because, I read these stories, I know their history and their lives, and I know that while they were here on this earth, maybe by the end they were appreciated, but while they were working there, they were laughed at. Stan Lee would lie about what he did as a career because people would laugh at him or be like, isn't that kid stuff? He would just tell people that he was a writer, and he didn't want to say that he was a comic book writer because at dinner parties they would just like, really? You're a comic writer? Joke, And to think that at the end that they have the last laugh and they contributed something greater than any of those people at that dinner party.
Oh my God.
With the creation of Spider-Man, and to see their bios there in a museum setting was just really special.
Yeah.
That I don't know if museum stuff happened while they were alive, but it happened at some point, and that's all that matters,
Absolutely.
with their co-creation.
Yes.
And it was cool too, because you had said it too. They were both credited as co-creators, which you said you liked.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Stan.
Yes, which is honestly what I was expecting, but
Nope.
not anymore.
Nope.
It's not like that anymore.
It sure isn't.
Which is nice.
The time of Bob Kane created Batman
Yep.
and Stan Lee created Spider-Man is long over.
Which I'm happy to see.
You see both their names every time now,
Yeah.
which is great. So then, yeah, you see the then they had not only just the original art, which I was ogling over, but for everybody, they had that big Tom Holland costume from No Way Home.
Really cool.
That was like the centerpiece of that first room.
Yep.
For me, it was Amazing Fantasy 15.
Sure.
But I mean, I've seen those.
Yeah.
But the Spider-Man costume.
Wow.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, the new Spider-Man.
And
too.
everyone, I don't know if you heard this too, but that was like the main draw, like in that room. And I just kept hearing, I heard it 2 or 3 times because I was shooting video for Instagram or my reel. And I just kept hearing, it's so small. He's so small.
Yes.
And
I think I said that.
maybe one of those was you.
It might have been me. I was like, he's really little.
Yeah, everyone kept saying that. I'm like, Tom Holland's,
yeah, he's a little
who
guy.
looks at Tom Holland and says, that's a big guy?
Well, sure. Yeah. I just,
Just flips.
it's credit to him. It shows how
Yeah.
good he is. He makes it larger than life.
Yeah.
He's bigger than what you would see.
And, we're, Toby people, so it was
Yeah.
cool to see some Toby Maguire movie props. It was Spider-Man 3, but
Whatever.
it was still
I'll take
cool.
it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and then you go into that other section, and then it kind of turned into the John Romita era.
Mm-hmm.
So that first room had kind of the Genesis stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of move into the 60s and 70s, and you see more John Romita artwork.
Yeah.
There was a lot more of that.
Oh, yes.
I think there was like 3 Ditko pages, and then there was like 10 or 15 Romita pages.
Yeah.
Which was weird because it was there's a couple of synchronicities in the weekend, and then John Romita Sr.
Yeah, you're
Because
right.
I had his autograph, and I had that moment with J. Scott Campbell, and then the next day I'm looking at his original art in the Spider-Man exhibit, and I didn't know I was going to be there, And then there was there any other? I'm sorry, I'm hogging it. Was there any other like favorite pieces that you saw before I just keep going on and on about the original art?
The movie props.
The movie props. What movie prop was your favorite?
Well, I was just remembering the Spider-Man 3 props.
Yeah.
I was looking out with our kiddo, and it was so funny. She was like, "That's Peter Parker's. They need to give that back to him."
his camera.
His
And his
camera.
badge.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, "That's Peter Parker's." She was so serious about it. This whole time she was very serious
Yeah.
in there, so that was really funny. I liked seeing the goblin mask and
Oh
the
my
pumpkin
God.
bomb. That was really cool.
That was like
I loved seeing that.
the Spider-Man costume was cool, but the Green Goblin mask and pumpkin bomb
is sick.
from Spider-Man 1.
And then they had a claw from Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2
Yes.
and his goggles.
Oh my God, yes, I know.
That
was so cool.
That was sick. And then they had I really liked that you could pose with all these cool statues
Yeah,
that they had made.
Yeah, they did a really good job too of like
Lifelike
making
statues.
it like an all ages experience.
Yes.
Because we've been to one other like Marvel exhibit when we were this is going to sound bougie and stuff. It's the one time we took an international trip.
Yeah.
We went to Paris once, and there happened to be a Marvel exhibit there.
Yes.
And if you think about that exhibit, it was a traditional museum experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? Art, prop.
Mm-hmm.
This was a different take. This was
immersive.
immersive photo opportunities,
Yeah.
stuff for kids to do, like that kind of thing, which I thought was a really different way to do it.
It was. You could go up to it, you could touch it. It wasn't like off
Yeah.
limits.
Yeah.
I loved how lifelike they were.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
So
And they had those couple of props which were cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Goblin mask, everyone kept walking by and going, "Coward!" Like doing their Willem Dafoe. Lots of great art in there. They had that one nice display of all of that like merch.
yeah, oh yeah.
Which was cool because there was this merch. It was all this merch from over the years, and there was this drawing in there on the top. Do you remember that?
No, I missed that.
I'll show you I have a picture of it. It's a little drawing, and it says in there, this is John Romita Sr.'s sketch of the Macy's Day balloon
What?
design.
Oh my God.
And it is the one that you
Oh,
see
that's
in
so
the
cool. Doing the
Yeah.
crouch or whatever.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
awesome.
Romita did the sketch for that balloon.
Wow, they had that in there?
And they had that.
I totally missed that.
And then you leave that part, and then my favorite part, the back end of that room,
Yeah.
was, which I've seen original art before. I don't think I've ever seen an old script. And there was one of Stan's scripts for, I'd have to look at my picture, like ASM, like 82.
Yeah.
With Stan's notes for the script.
Yes.
Which I don't think I've ever seen.
I never thought about it until I saw that. I'm like, oh, yeah, how did they edit the writing?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they did it like this.
Yeah. Turn around there, and then what do you see? Holy shit. Maximum Carnage, the video game in a Sega Genesis. As a museum piece.
It was behind glass.
Oh my god, dude.
I turned to you and I was just like, hey, you feel old now?
Yes.
The fuck?
My childhood's in a museum.
Oh, shit, man.
It's like, oh boy.
You know, I was like, yeah.
Enough said.
Ouch.
Then you turn around, and I took a picture of this. It was like, you got in symbiotes, and it was Carnage, Maximum Carnage game, and then there was this art piece, and I just took a picture of it because it was Carnage. I took a picture of it, and then I posted it later, and my friend Rob Markman said, "What is this?" It says 361, and I didn't realize it when I took it or posted it on Instagram. And then I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's right! It is 361, which is Carnage's first appearance." And then he got all nerd and looked it up and sent me the comic link like bio, and I didn't realize it when I took it. It was Mark Bagley's first attempt at the first Carnage appearance, and it was the only time, it said in the write-up, that in his 5 years of doing Spider-Man, they asked for another go at the cover.
Wow.
And what I had seen was the original alternative cover and I'll put it up on the screen for our podcast listeners, our YouTube listeners. It was the first go at that cover, and I was like, this is great. I mean, I love what got published, but this is great too.
I thought it was sick.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
Really?
I felt so stupid. I didn't even realize it until I got home. I was back at the hotel posting, and it was just so cool to see that.
An alternative
cover.
Yeah.
And I was telling you there's an Amazing Fantasy 15 alternative cover.
That's right.
That Ditko did, which I didn't learn about until like 2015,
Yeah.
And it's different than the Kirby cover.
So fascinating, because to me they're both like just the Carnage one, like for example, like they're both like beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
And how do you make that call?
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
I know what? It could be better.
Yeah, Stan didn't care for Ditko's version.
Okay.
And he took it to Kirby, and Kirby did the Amazing Fantasy 15, which is classic.
Sure.
And then that one, I mean, Bagley did both of them, but I think it's Bagley. And then so you see and then it gets into the modern era, and the best part about that section was I couldn't believe that they had it.
Yeah. Ultimate
Fallout 4 first appearance of Miles Morales cover sitting there. I was like, oh my god. That's the Ultimate Fallout 4 cover.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was really cool.
I was like, no one's looking at it, because behind me was a huge Miles Morales statue that you could get your picture with. Mm-hmm. And everyone was in line for that. And I'm over here.
Hey guys.
Ultimate Fallout 4 modern classic cover here. So anyways, it was great. They had all this kind of stuff. It ends up in a little area, and it has, like you can do sketches and hang out, and gets you into the gift shop. And overall, it was just great. So let me ask you, was it worth it? Better than expected? What did you think?
Definitely better than what I was expecting. I guess I don't know what I was expecting. I guess it was going to be just like, probably some comic, some comics.
Like the Paris exhibit.
Yeah.
Maybe just a lot of
maybe some
original
props.
art.
Yeah.
For sure.
I didn't expect it to be in 2 galleries.
Mm-hmm.
That was surprising. Like, wow, you guys got a lot of stuff. But, he has such a history. It's like, you can tell it over these decades of time.
Oh, my God.
So
honestly, I mean, really, greatest superhero of all time.
Clearly.
I don't think that they're, and I'll say that's my final takeaway. I mean, really, I don't know. I don't think that there is another debate about the greatest superhero of all time, and it has to be Spider-Man, and I'll say that.
Yeah.
And when you look at like a licensing thing, like the number one licensed superhero by tenfold is Spider-Man.
Sure.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
And Stan always said it too, like that any creed, color, age can be under the mask.
Yes.
And that's why he's different compared to Batman or somewhere else, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't think that there can be any debate about the greatest superhero of all time has to be Spider-Man.
It definitely has to be.
Just objectively, not your favorite, but just the one who is the purest hero, who has been through the most.
Yes.
I mean, it's just when I left the exhibit, I was like, that's it.
He's the best.
He's the greatest of all time.
He really is.
Absolutely, 100%. Enough said. So our final takeaways for the weekend between C2E2 for us and seeing the Spider-Man exhibit, I think we both kind of walked away from both those experiences surprised at the scope of age, of type, of creed, color, income. You know, that's what I was kind of surprised by. You know, we both agreed.
The weekend really showed, you know, that the love of comics and the stories that they tell are beloved through everyone and anyone.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what you're into, you will find something that you absolutely love and feel comfortable in. And especially because you can feel it within that community. Everybody's a nerd. And I never feel more comfortable than honestly being in like that environment.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people and somehow I'm still super comfortable there.
Yeah.
Because we're all vibing at the same thing and we're all finding like something like that we love and can share together.
I think my final takeaway from, you know, between C2E2 and the Spider-Man exhibit was just seeing how much the culture, the comic book culture, the mythology, more than the comic books. The comic books is the foundation, and I, as a comic book collector, have always believed that it is well beyond the comics. Between the movies, the TV shows, the video games, the trading cards, however you found these things, it has permeated every age group, and it's still a cultural phenomenon that is still happening. Kids at C2E2, Gen Z at the Spider-Man exhibit, boomers. I mean, the whole gamut of age and creed and color and type and income, loving the mythology. I'll say it that because that's a broader term than the comics or the characters.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, just absolutely loving the mythology, and to see it still having such an impact, you know, all the way down to the youngest. You know, the Spider-Man exhibit had tons of kids, and they were loving it. Loving it.
Yeah.
You know, it was really, really special to see it still being loved and enjoyed.
Absolutely.
And that's it for our special episode, Nerd Weekend in Chicago with C2E2 and the Spider-Man exhibit. We hope you enjoyed us talking about all of our travels and our adventures and takeaways and what we saw, and the power of the comic book mythology is alive and well from the old to the young. That's what I saw this weekend. We thank you for listening. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Cheddar_Comics for weekly Thursday live sales and everything else. And be sure to follow Mrs. Cheddar on Instagram at Mrs. Cheddar_Comics. And be sure to like, subscribe,
all of it,
comment, all that stuff on wherever you're listening or watching. We appreciate you. We love you. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 8. Ooh. Same Cheddar time, same Cheddar channel. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
This has been a Cheddar Comics podcast. Tune in next week for issue number 8.